Smacking, cracking, and watching. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe. Netflix is doing some great things this summer, man. This new show, it is called G.L.O.W. Stands for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Funny show. I just watched the pilot and I enjoyed it. It was super funny. Like, it's like almost 5 o'clock in the morning, and I actually laughed. And it's weird when you're laughing in the middle of the night. So you really got to be funny if you're laughing in the middle of the night. It was funny. So it starts off with this neon colored intro. It's giving you like Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper vibes. It's cool, it's throwback, it's retro, it's pretty dope. The show's about women wrestling. The intro song is pretty cool too. It's 80s vibe. I like the part where it's like victory is mine. It's funny, she says I will not be bullied into submission. The main character, Ruth Wilder, I thought she was the boss in that scene, to be honest. Breaking the Glass Ceiling, Ruth Wilder. I'm assuming she's the main character. What a great last name. Wilder for a wrestler? Come on now. She's adaptable. She's real. She's being played by her casting director. She's showing the struggle. Show is empowering. It's encouraging. It's good television. They play Sylvester. You make me feel mighty real. The ultimate throwback song, right? The wardrobe, they nailed it. I'm talking about they got high socks, leotards, the hair, the shoes. Nailed it. Some of the funny parts so far have been the chick in the yoga class, or the chick in the aerobics class with her leakage happening right about here. Another funny part is when she was offered a cereal and skin flick role. We're seeing the struggles, I guess, of what an actress would go through, on and off camera. I guess they could have a role and still be hungry like the rest of us, trying to make it every day. The music is super good. I recommend y'all watch this show. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Oh, I straight up forgot that voicemails used to be like recorded on a tape. And when I heard the tape click, I was like, oh shoot, I forgot about that. You're so used to cell phones, and I was like, who has a house phone? It's an unconventional job, but it's gonna be very cool to see how it plays out in these next 9 episodes. She pulled up in that I swear that was a VW Rabbit. If y'all know what kind of car she drove, tell me if it's a Volkswagen Rabbit, because my mom used to have one and it was red. It was so clean on the inside, but the outside looked beat like hers. The struggle. So Ruth gets to this casting call for this unconventional women, and it's just full of all different types of females, shapes, sizes, colors, backgrounds. Very interesting characters, funny characters. And they all rocking their vintage threads, man. Oh, who was that chick with the Ultimate Warrior eyes? I said, who created this chick? I'm talking about, when they asked for like headshot, she gave a picture of a wolf. So Sam Sylvia is basically the guy who's running the wrestling, the whole the G.L.O.W show. It's going to be something like WWF. They're going to build superstars and they're going to dominate is how I feel. Sam Sylvia, he's the 80s throwback guy. My question is, who is Cherry? Because she seems like she's going to be a hilarious character. She said, when it came to her, she said, freeze, motherfucker. Okay, Foxy Brown girl, you must have been working in movies a couple years ago, huh? Working you some good Christy. So G.L.O.W, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's going to be a wrestling show on cable TV. He says it's going to be like a cat fight, but fancy. When he explained all of that, they ended up losing like 50% of the wrestlers, the future wrestlers. And he's still making cuts. The Sam guy, he's funny as heck. Do people think you're pretty? So disrespectful. Ruth's not a great name. Disrespectful. Gets on the phone showing her struggle. She's showing her inner struggle, asking for $200. And she's like, hey man, my phone bill. And I'm like, your phone bill? I'm like, okay, you couldn't possibly have a cell phone, so you got a house phone. House phones couldn't possibly be that high in the 80s. What was it? I mean, had to be like, what, $20? Food couldn't have been that high either. I don't know. Maybe gas was what was getting her in that VW. Ruth, you ain't even got no kids up in that efficiency. It's just you, girl. What you eating every day? I bet you ordering Chinese food. So her apartment, like the ultimate efficiency. Okay, quick story. So when I was in college, I had an efficiency, and it was like a stove, refrigerator, bedroom separate though. But my friends would say, because my living room and my kitchen was the same, they would call it a lichen. They said, look at your little lichen. Ruth's boyfriend has a wife. I'm gonna give you a second to digest that. Her boyfriend has a wife. You got it? And it was monkey stomping. I wouldn't necessarily say watch the show if you have a little one, because there's some skin being shown. There was a guy named Salty Sack Johnson. Salty the Sack Johnson. For real. For real. Y'all really named it? And he's like the ultimate. He's such an 80s looking dude. You know, kind of strong, but not cut up strong, but not ripped. He's got the slick brunette ponytail and, you know, the facial hair. It's just, yo, I watched wrestling growing up a lot. I loved Bret Hart, uh, Razor Ramon, all these people. And you know, if you really into wrestling, you watch like the little documentaries, especially the one on Razor Ramon, and you're like, dang, what happened? Or you follow Hulk Hogan, even down to when he got recorded a couple of years ago. You know, it's super entertaining. Whether, you know, you're one of them diehard fans that say it's real, or you say, all right, come on now. After a certain age, you know it's fake. But if this show is anything like the pilot was, it's hilarious. It's gonna get a season 2. Ruth was cool because she was coming up with a backstory. I mean, that's what they do now. That's what they did back then. Look at Paul Bearer, and look at The Undertaker and Kane. You know, all these people who have that story. So this show is pretty dang on good. And she got cussed out by little boys and she got cussed out by preteens. He said, you perp plus B? Oh, now on Netflix. Wait a minute. Y'all better watch this show. Support this. Boy, they on to something now. That show is good. So the kids that robbed her end up taking the kids that cussed her out called her all kinds of bees, and they robbed her. Took her purse, took her taco. If anything, I said, dang, it's so early and late at the same time, but I want a hard shell taco so bad. Homegirl came and picked her up, the same chick who was leaking, and you know, she got a little kid, the same chick that was leaking about here from yoga, picked her up. You know, that's what a good friend do. She's Ruth is ticked off cussing, and her friend is like, yo, don't cuss in front of Randy. And I'm like, is the baby in the back seat? Sure enough, the baby's in the back seat, and she's like, I'm playing. He's a mother baby. I was like, dang. Ruth goes to practice her craft at like an improv, I guess like a class or whatever that actors go to. Well, she's doing her Southern damsel voice while she's going over a cat on a tin roof, and her instructor is slumbering. And she's like, dang, you're supposed to be teaching us. I'm working on my craft, and you don't even care. You're sleeping. The nerve. So she goes home, and she ends up watching WWF. So Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, you know, all these legendary wrestlers, you know. Woo! So she starts adapting her craft. You know, she changes it from what she was doing at her study class, studying these wrestlers. She's getting into it, and it reminded me so much of being at my grandmother's house when my cousins and I used to jump off of beds and, you know, do the wrestling moves, and you know, the big rubber wrestlers. You remember those? Do you remember those? Like, they were thick rubber wrestlers, and I just remembered that and practicing all the moves. That's what she was doing. She got caught with the sheets everywhere, jumping off of beds, flipping. That was throwback. And you feel it here. Obviously, the next day, is running G.L.O.W and doing blow. Ruth storms in and says, you watch me. And then she's in the get up. She got her whole wrestling attire on now, getting in the character. She's got a little face paint. Looked like she dipped 3 fingers in it and it went whoosh. Dip 3 again. What's cool was that she mixed what she learned from. She mixed her theater improv lines about the whole tin roof with the wrestling stuff. So she's on to something, man. She's definitely on to something. We find out she was doing her best friend. Her best friend storms in, holding the baby, gives the baby to this. I don't know who she is, but she's gonna be interested in the African American female wrestler, future wrestler. She gives the Randy to her to hold. She's holding this baby, like nurturing this baby. Like, I don't know this lady, but it's about to go down. She storms in the ring, and I'm like, why is her best friend storming in the ring like that? And she says, you, that husband that's got a girl, her boyfriend that's got a wife, is her best friend's husband. So she was messing with her best friend. That's so bogus. That's trifling. She deserved to get towed up. She deserved every ounce of that whooping that she got. What did the other wrestler says? Is this real? And the girl tells her, who the cares? Which is the whole premise of WWF. You know it's not, but who cares? It's entertaining. That's what makes it cool, right? But he's so high that he's a genius, that he's foreseeing the future, that this is going to be profitable, this is going to be entertainment, we're on to something, this is a gold mine in the making. And he sees the best friends fighting in the ring, getting a true ass whooping. He sees it as choreography, crowds, they're in full wardrobe. I'm talking about they're moving, and it's really nice. The music, the facial expressions, he knows it's onto a gold mine. And that's why this show is going to be off the chain. That pilot alone, it brings you to your past of your life, and it brings you to a time period that we all have went through in this in our lifetime, in our age groups or whatnot. I think the show's gonna be off the chain. Y'all better watch it. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think.